Hey guys, it's me and Shadow, and it's just me after watching the current episode of Zet. Now, okay, Baku's I don't know if I want to say defeat because I'm not sure if he's like if Baku actually died or that's just what he what happened to him was a perceived death. Basically, it's not a real death, but it's like a story death. Now, I do think that whatever it was, Baku's Sushi was interesting because I do like how Baku's one of Baku's dreams was to save them, which was kind of interesting. And I guess he called out to Nem, after he got struck down, that it disappeared. So I like that type of like connection, and but the thing that surprised me the most was Baku building a new driver, or or maybe repair would be the proper term, but he seemed to right now. Here's the thing I don't really get. I get him building the driver, and that's why he's able to transform again. But what I don't get is the extreme capsule because like driver no the driver I can accept that because um he built it right. He spent I don't know how long it took, but he built it. He built a new driver. So him able to transfer, getting a driver, getting a new driver and getting powered up through that new driver, I think would totally make sense because he built it himself. And since has Zeth's abilities, it makes sense. I understand that, but the extreme capsule I think does not make any sense at all. Um, like, how did he even get that capsule, right? Because now, because it makes now if he like okay, so if I was kind of I thought that they would push the final form back one or two episodes, and the reason why is because to build up for the extreme capsule, right? So what I was think would happen is like he would I guess like I expected him to fix the driver, right? That part I was expecting, right? Fix the driver, but instead of unlocking the final form immediately, I thought he would just fix the driver, upgrade it so that his driver now has new abilities, right? Because he has to eventually be sick because he needs something that can help him be sick, right? So you can give him the powers and abilities to lead up to being sick, right? So he would then, after fixing the driver, would then go out to save Nem, right? Right? And you're thinking, well, why do you need it? Why would you have to push back an episode? Because I think he should save Nem with what he has, just a powered up driver, right? So he can demonstrate the power that his driver has, not the extreme capsule, but just the driver, right? To demonstrate the power that the driver has, right? Save Nem, right? And then fight Sig, right? And he fights Sig, right? Now at first first Baku's doing good. He's like he's fighting. He's not going down. He's not getting torn around like before, and he's able to fight him, right? And then you have his backstory, right? It showed his backstory. After showing the backstory, right, which Baku should see, Baku then in turn um, kind of then in turn right kind of understands Sig better, and then they right, and then he has his epiphany moment, and then right all the capsules right. So he has right all the capsules are glowing, and then they combined right all the capsules combined, right? And that creates extreme, and then he uses extreme to beat Sig. right? But the fact that he got it immediately um, makes you wonder where they're gonna go. But that's what I was expecting though. This Baku to fix the driver, save Nem, uh, go into Sig's dream, learn his backstory, connect with, understand Siegfried to a certain extent, then call out. He fights Sig. Baku gets pushed back, calls out, creates X Dream, uses X Dream to beat Sig, right? But no, he just built a driver. I think it took him like 20 years because I think the last one I saw was the year 2045, right? Built the driver, and it already had X Dream with him. So I was hoping they would push the final transformation back one episode, right? Have him try to save Nem, and no, try to save Nem, succeed, fight Sig, learn his backstory, get pushed back, awaken the extreme, catch him, and then Molly Wop, Sig, right? So that's why I was hoping maybe they push the reveal back one episode. I know they can't because they're on a tight, but I'm sure because their budget is tight and the schedule is also tight. But still, I really thought that's how it was. I think I honestly think that that's how it should unfold. If you're being 100% honest, I do think that's how it should unfold. Um, uh, right now, there is some things that I find interesting. Now, as you know, I think the first 31 episodes, Baku says the episode the name of the episode in English, right? And right, and then today's episode, he finally says he goes F it. He says the mission in Japanese, and which I thought was really interesting because I thought that they were going to keep going with that, but Baku was just, you know, he 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 wasn't in the condition to keep doing it, so he just set the mission in Japanese and moved on. I thought that was really interesting because Baku was so stubborn about missions being said in English that I thought that he wouldn't break it no matter what. But after today's episode, he did. He finally did. He broke it. He said the mission's name in Japanese and just moved on. I kind of understand because he was getting his butt kicked and his driver was destroyed and he couldn't really transform, and he had and he just tried. Now it's amazing that there seems to be a lot of connections. Like I didn't know that the driver is allowed him to use that space, that mission base, and all those like powers, right? And apparently, I didn't realize, I didn't think that the zetzs driver took away his ability to sleep because apparently it did because once the driver was destroyed, it seems like he couldn't sleep. So I mean, it could be due to nervousness and shock of the driver being destroyed, but it's still like interesting in a sense. And what I really like about what I like about cinematography wise is when Baku is defeated, it turns gray. It turns black and white. The screen turns black and white, like any video game character, where your HP is like or when you close to, or when it's depleted, which I actually found kind of interesting. Um, I also like Baku's dream state where he is imagining his friends, right? I really feel that's interesting because uh, it really gives because Bakushi really pushes the message of never giving up, just keep moving forward, believe in yourself, and no matter what, if you don't give up, you'll push through. You'll push through eventually. You'll push through eventually, and I think that that's a great message. I thought that message was really impactful, very good, in fact. That That and to be honest, that the dream sequence stuff like that made me realize that how much I like Kamen Rider than the Kamen Rider series in general. General that and to be honest, I like Kamen Rider way more than Super Sentai. Now I never really watched Super Sentai because Super Sentai was never my thing, right? I prefer Kamen Rider, but after seeing that scene and seeing it kind of made me rectify why I like Kamen Rider so much more than any other tokusatsu. I usually would use Sentai as a example there, but Sentai doesn't. Sentai is there's no Sentai anymore, right? So I can't use it as a basis now. Now, right, and I did find Nem's mom uh, uh, entering the dream world is quite interesting. I'm curious what's going to happen. I am curious what's going to happen. I think that because look, Nev's mom needs a character arc. She definitely needs one, and I think she should have one, and I think she should get a character arc. I really do. Um, right, because like Baku has gone through it, Manami's kind of gone through it. Even Baku's father's gone through it. Nem's gone through it. Even Nox has gone through a sort of character development. So I really think that lady. I think Nem's mom's probably going to have to go through one soon. I expect it probably in 2 or 3 episodes. Um, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I always assumed Nem's mom would be a writer, right? Right? Like, oh no, because because in the episode when Nem's mom kind of like punched through the to through to the dream world, I was kind of hoping like she go, no, I gotta save my daughter. Boom, punch, 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 right? Breaks through and enters the physical message of the dream world, and she just snapped, right? And when you see Nem's when she talks to the thing that created Nem, right? The dark power matters that created Nem. I was kind of expecting her to like poof out a driver like an empowered driver, and then give her a custom, and then boom, Nightmare Rider again, right? Because technically, Sig is also a Nightmare Rider, right? So so I thought it would be interesting. Now, if now I want to go back to the driver for a second. Them deciding to for Baku to create and repair his driver by himself, then giving him a MacGuffin that just gives him a new one or repairs it instantly, uh, is respectable. And I'm glad they added a scene right before he tries to build the driver. He uses recovery on the driver to see if he can fix it. No, it doesn't. The recovery doesn't work. Recovery doesn't work. Now, I'm glad that they showed this because if he they have to show this because if they have to show this before Baku builds the driver because there has to be an in lore as to reason why he tried to build the driver and not just use the recovery capsule. So they have him use it, fail, and then fix the driver. So I actually kind of like that scene because it adds a little bit lore and it explains why the hero did what he uh, and at the same time, experienced audience members like, well, why don't you just use recovery? He used recovery and it failed, right? So I think that it really adds some depth to the episode. I really do. Um, I really do. Um, Now I really am really interested in where the mom's story is going to go because now that she entered the dream world and she talked to the black figure smoke thing, which I don't really know if that's gonna be the final enemy at the end. I don't really think so. I think it's gonna be three, but who knows at this point. But I definitely want to see where Dunham's mom's story goes because I really thought that she would play. I really thought she would be Mastermind through the entire series. I really did think she played Mastermind like behind the curtain through the whole series. So the fact that she entered the dream world, finally entered the dream world to save her, like, no, no, my daughter is getting tortured and go into it. I really thought that things would be interesting. There's more I want to talk about, but I think I'll just end it here. Plus, my phone battery's on the low side. I really need to get charge my phone soon. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my take, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.